Okay, here we go. Good morning. It is morning here. What I'm going to do now is just go through a couple of things that I've just ordered and had delivered. One being the Bushman Gobi Panoramic head, which I ordered last week. It's come from the Czech Republic. I ordered it directly from their website. You can use PayPal if you want, and that's from Bushman-Panoramic.com. They're a Czech-based company. That took about a week to arrive. I think it arrived on Thursday. It's now Saturday. And I've also got the Samyang 7.5mm f3.5 sort of full frame fisheye lens here, which I'm going to attach to this GH2 body. Again, this took about a week to arrive. It wasn't very fast delivery, but I got that from eBay. I think it cost me, God, how much was it? I think £220 British pounds. So you have to do a translation for that. That was €200 I think, or €210. Both of them took about a week. Now the reason I'm doing this, I'm sorry to, and this is the tripod I'm going to fit this panoramic head to. This isn't the one I plan to use. It's just one I happen to have that's got a 3/8 thread on it. I've got a Giottos 8233, but that's what this camera's on at the moment, so I can't use that. And plus I had trouble getting the head off, but I've got adapters for that, and I'll go into that later. So that's what I'm going to fit the panoramic head to. This is an old tripod that came with a motorised sort of telescope one that I used for photographing the moon and things like that with a big zoom lens on. Now the reason I had to buy these is because previously, and I've been doing it since my first ones I did in 1960s panoramic pictures, not very well with video stills. Then I moved on and bought this, if you can see it, it's an iPix lens, which with an adapter, I think I used it on the GH2 with a 14mm f2.5 and an adapter ring from 37 to 46. That gives a full circular picture in the frame like that, not like this fisheye lens which would be full frame. This gives a circular image, so you only get a portion of the sensor used. In fact, it's on the on the 14mm it's not even filling the edges. So one of the problems with that lens is that it gave chromatic aberration around the edges. You're getting blue and yellow fringing. It's also really not sharp at the edges of that circle. And I was previously, I'd forgotten to do this, I was using it with a clamp around here. So the actual clamp for the tripod is set there and it moves around on that axis, which is a nodal point. Now I'd forgotten about this and agreed to do a job filming all over the building where I work, different rooms. So people had set up these rooms especially for these 360 pictures. I'd gone round with the GH2 with this attached to, the lens isn't on there at the moment, with this attached to that in that configuration. Now, although the tripod mount on the GH2 is there, it is in the middle of the lens, it's obviously not right, as the nodal point wasn't right. I didn't use the clamp. And also the tripod I used, the Giottos, shifted it off to the left as well. So it was off that way and off in that direction. Was that XY? Yeah. It was off in both directions. So I went round, took all these pictures, 360, drove all over the place, not just one site, several different sites. People are set up specially, took the pictures. Now I'd forgotten about nodal points and parallax problems. So when I came to stitch the pictures together, things in the distance would match up, or things in the foreground would match up, but not both. Now there's lots of videos on YouTube that explain a lot better than I can about parallax issues and the nodal point of lenses, but if you look that up you'll see what I mean. It's basically if the camera is not lined up right in the, not just the camera but the lens on the nodal point, things in the distance as you move the camera around are going to shift off. So when you come to stitch back together, the stitches back together for the 360 panoramas, it's never going to work. And I've tried 4 different pieces of software thinking one would work over the other. None of them can do this, but it just looks like nothing's lined up. You get something right and something's wrong over there. you matched it up with manual points, it still doesn't do it. So basically I had to buy these things to be able to do my job properly. That's what they pay me for. So right, that's enough waffle, I think. We don't need that iPix lens anymore. That's all history now. So we'll go ahead and open up the lens first. This is the Samyang 3.5. Let's get the wrapping off and the paperwork. Now this lens is also, I think, well, they could have, you know what, unwrapping something is the worst part of anything. Warning on there saying that if the seal is broken, the warranty will be invalidated. Oh, so there we go. There it is. Nicely packed with bubble wrap. We'll just chuck that over there for now. I'll clean that up later, probably not. So there it is, nicely boxed up. Let's see what we've got. Instruction manual in English. That's always useful. Little vinyl bag for it. Now I'm guessing that this is there's the lens itself. That's interesting. It's a little longer than I expected. It's got both caps on, 4/3 and the lens cap. Anything else in there? No, that's it. So that's how it's held together. Stick that over there for now. Let's just bring the page up that's got the details of this lens. Get that out of the way. So, should be a question now. If I'm going to fit it to the GH2, I'm going to have to make sure that on the menu option, which I'll just show you now, you're going to need the setting to shoot without lens. So if I just bring this up here, I'm not sure if I'll be able to focus fully because it's not on macro. There you can see it there. If I bring the custom menu up, it's on the last one actually. Shoot without lens. It's on 8 and it's usually set on that by standard, so you need to put that to on. Because it's a manual lens, it's not got the electrical contacts at the back. I'll just switch that off. So you're not going to get those features of autofocus and be able to control the aperture and obviously no image stabilisation. It's a fully manual lens. It's aluminium, that ring's aluminium, that's aluminium. It's all metal, which is reassuring. The mounting plate is metal also, which is good. Just take the camera protector off, match up the two red dots, and that is the lens attached. The aperture ring seems very nice. That's a nice little lens, that's nice and smooth. Manual focus. Okay, that comes off like that. That's a nice hefty lens cap as well. They're both good. So that's how it looks. I can't see what the camera's seeing, but that's how it looks on the GH2 body. That's nice. That's is that even metal as well? No, I think that's plastic. The hood's plastic, but the lens body is all metal. Now just testing it out now. I've got it on movie mode actually. Let me just switch that to manual. That already looks that's really nice and sharp. Manual focus. Ah, okay. Basically, it wants to be very. Looking at that, you want to be really close to infinity. And anything but the very closest, that's still in focus there. So from infinity to there, that's only what, 2 foot, half a metre. Seems to be in focus. I don't know if I can show you that through the lens just to see what kind of angle I get. There you can see everything in the room there. But if I just put the, let's focus on the box. You see that's pretty much in focus, and there isn't much room for manoeuvre there. It's basically just off infinity where I put it. Now I've seen people mark a little spot on here to make sure that they always get it at the same time. That's possibly a good idea. But anyway, that's the lens attached. As you can see, it's full frame, corner to corner. It's supposed to have 180 side to side. There's my hand. You should be able to see that coming in just as my fingertips, just as it reaches the top of the lens there. Okay, that's the lens attached. It's wide open at 3.5. What did I just do there? ISO 320. Okay. That's a nice looking lens. I think we'll put the cap on. Which locks onto... Yeah, you have to put the cap on the right way up or it won't work. Right, now here's the complicated bit. Let's have a look at the panoramic head. Get this stuff out of the way for now. This is the Gobi, and I'm going to try and put this together as quickly as I can for you. Well, you can always fast, that's the beauty of YouTube, you can fast forward this if it gets too boring. Gordon Bennett. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere now. That's the actual packaging. That looks really nice. It's quite a small package, doesn't really weigh much. The lightest and simplest solution for amateurs and professionals on the market. That is the invoice, the receipt basically, and here's the actual. Oh, it's really well made. That's solid, really nicely milled aluminium anodized. It's got a little bubble level in it there. That's excellent. It's got its own bubble level. So that is going to fit the tripod head there, and it's going to click around in 12. I've got a 12 clicker, which I'll probably use double, so it only takes 6 with this lens to get enough overlap, which I think is supposed to be 35%. And here's a little bag for it all. I'm guessing that will go in there and all zip together. Yeah, that's a carrying pouch for it. No belt. Oh, there is a belt clip there with a belt clip. So that's a nice little, not too awkward to carry at all. It seems really well made and put together. I'll put that over there with the Samyang. Right then, let's get this out again. No printed instructions, some Allen keys, hex keys. Those are little stoppers for something. What else have we got there? It's all hex keys. It's got 2 hex keys and some other things. This is the first time I've opened this. I have no idea what I'm doing, but that's all aluminium. I've got my own Allen key just in case I didn't have any tools. Okay, that's obviously the attachment for the camera. So the camera is going to fit on there. I'm guessing, and then this must attach to this way around. Let's just try and do that. Okay, I'm just screwing that in. What I've got there is a picture. That was a product manual there. Let's have a look at that. That might also be useful. The Gobi Quick 12, that's the one. Okay, shows me all the parts. This has been specifically known to quick release to the camera quick release plate. High density rubber. I see. Okay, so the camera mount even has a little D-ring on there. I'll put this on, but I may well have to move it when I work out what's going on and where to put the camera. But the camera is going to be in portrait mode. So in theory, I should only have to take 4 pictures right around, but I'll be taking 6. And it's going to be nice weather this weekend, so I'm going to do that. So that attaches to the camera body like that, with some rubber, so that's certainly on. Okay, those things are rail stops. Okay, there's the rail. Oh, okay. So I guess once that's in position, no, we'll find out what those do. Assembling the elements. Let's read the instructions. Okay, I've done everything except tighten the red screws with a quick click. Loosen specific optic plate. Yeah. Screw it into the optic plate. I tell you what, at reception it's been translated from Czech. Double-sided ring, tighten the red screw. Changing the rings or slide rings. Quick release plate. Sorry about this, I'm just going through the instructions. And that's it. Well, I don't know what these rail stops are for. I wonder if they're possibly well, they are. They're going to be to stop because they've got the curved edge, they go into the... Okay, I've got 2, I only need 1. That is obviously going to go onto that. Okay. Take that off. Nice clicking motion, nice and smooth. Not sure why that's there. So that 3/8 thread, we had an adapter. Put this on here. That's on tight. That's set on 0, so that's going to be a 0 position. That's obviously not level in any way, but there is a bubble level there. So if I was going to get another tripod, I'd get one with a so like a ball head, but not for video one, so you can straighten it, whatever. You see, not constantly messing around with the legs, so you can straighten it there. I could try and get this level actually, but this tripod is so wobbly and useless, it's not very precise. There, that says it's in the middle. If I click it all the way around, yeah, it's moving all over. It's very important to get this level, which I'm not going to be able to do right now. So attach the so I'm going to want to be that way around. Attach this to that. Yeah, that's what those stoppers are for. That has marked degrees on. That is now horizontal, but I can't get the stop plate in. And I can't also, that's quite, tighten that on, get that right. Okay, well I'm nowhere near, I mean the camera's in the middle, but I need to move it that way. So I'm guessing that that is going to have to come out like that. Any ideas how to operate this? I think I need to read the instructions further and start this again, because although it's very solidly built, it all needs to move back this way and then still be level. Is that achieved like this? No, that has to be in that position. So how am I going to move? How am I going to move that back? I can line the lens up this way, obviously, left and right, to try and get that central line in the middle of there. What I don't seem to be able to do is to shift it backwards. That nicely clicks into the angles there. Dunk, 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 dunk. Nice clicking action. Well, if you're watching and you can see how I can, this tripod really is awful. How I can move the camera back to get the focal point of the lens. I need to move it that way. If I move that up, that's just bizarre. I can move it that way, but not that way. I really can't work out how that's going to work. Right. Okay, I've put the thing together. I haven't put the stop in yet, but to get the stops in, that's going to have to come off. That'll go on there, and that'll go underneath. It's basically just to stop that sliding up and down. But that's not my main issue at the moment. I want the camera back here, and then at that angle. And I really can't see a way of doing that apart from twisting it around on the D clamp, which doesn't seem right. Probably because it's not. Right, what I'm going to do is stop that there and try and work out what's going on. I look like a fool